the removal and installation of PW100 fuel nozzles. This video was completed using a PW127F engine. This video complements the process for removing and installing fuel nozzle assembly with a flexible manifold configuration. Complete instructions are detailed in the respective PW100 Engine Maintenance Manual, EMM, in Section 72-01-40. It is important to follow all safety practices to avoid any injuries, and the use of gloves is highly recommended. In this section, some basic description of major components will be covered. The flexible manifold configuration consists of three main parts: a primary that must be connected between fuel nozzle number 2 and number 14, a secondary left-hand side that must be connected between the flow divider and the fuel nozzle number 1, and a secondary right-hand side that must be connected between the flow divider and the fuel nozzle number 2. The crowned ring is part of the fuel manifold assembly and will be covered by the lock ring, also called molar fingers, from the fuel nozzle adapter during the installation. The torquing during installation will be done on the B-nut as shown by the arrow. Also note on the primary manifold that there are elbow extensions at some locations of the manifold. These elbow extensions must be located at specific fuel nozzle location, fuel nozzle number 5 and others, as they will allow clearance with specific parts. With the introduction of SB 21848, conical gaskets are introduced and installed in conjunction with post SB 21841 fuel nozzle adapter assembly. P&WC tools required. P&WC toolkit, reference PWC 45215, contains different tools for the removal and installation of the flexible manifold and fuel nozzle adapter assembly. Torque wrench, reference PWC 45200, is calibrated to meet the torque requirement of 260 plus minus 10 pound-inch. All components of the toolkit PWC 45215 can also be procured individually under their respective PWC tool number. Field experience has demonstrated that this toolkit provides more accessibility and flexibility for on-wing installation. Removal of the flexible manifold. Break, torque, and disconnect the manifold connectors from the nozzle adapter assembly on both the primary and the secondary manifolds. Then, proceed by removing the 4 bolts which are holding the fuel nozzle adapter and put the bolts in a clean tray. Remove the fuel nozzle adapter and discard the metal gasket. After the removal of the fuel nozzle adapter, ensure that protective caps or other approved tapes are installed on the gas generator case boss to prevent any foreign objects from falling into the case. Repeat the process for all the other fuel nozzle adapters. Store each fuel nozzle adapter by its engine location, as shown in the figure, in a support tray numbered 1 to 14. This will ensure that the hot end component distress can be related to a specific fuel nozzle adapter. Carefully remove all the conical gaskets from the flexible manifold fittings using PWC 89947 and discard. General Compliance Statement. Inspect all parts removed for damage as per EMM Chapter 72-01-40. Fuel System Inspection/Check section. Installation of the flexible manifold and fuel nozzle adapter assembly. Apply the anti-seize compound on the threads of the fuel nozzle male fitting. Remove any residual anti-seize compound. Lubricate the molar fingers or crowned ring and the B-nut thrust wires with engine oil. Install a new conical gasket onto the fuel manifold fitting. Secure the ends of the conical gasket into the existing groove on the fuel manifold using PWC tool PWC 45140. As a best practice, it is recommended to display all components neatly on a bench and ensure the components are kept clean prior to installation. Install the new metal gasket flat face against the gas generator case. Install the fuel nozzle adapter by ensuring that the locating pin is properly engaged in the metal gasket by moving slightly left and right. While holding the fuel nozzle adapter in place, screw finger tight the 4 bolts and apply a final torque subsequently as per engine maintenance manual. Repeat process for all other fuel nozzle adapters. Engage all the manifold connector tubes, and then, by pushing on the manifold, tighten the manifold B nut fittings until it is bottom. Caution: as mentioned earlier in this video, it is very important to make sure the extended elbow of the primary flexible manifold is in line with fuel nozzle number 5. This will allow clearance of the spark igniter and allow proper installation of the primary manifold. Make sure all flexible manifold B-nuts are hand-torqued prior proceeding with final torque. Apply seating torque of 260 ± 10 pounds-inch to flexible manifold connector B-nut with PWC tool PWC 45200. Loosen connectors to 0 torque and then apply a final torque to the connections of the flexible manifold and fuel nozzle adapter. During the final torquing, ensure that the manifold flexible hose is held with one hand near the nut to prevent any twisting of the flexible manifold. After final torque, P&WC recommends to check that no flexible manifold fitting are loose. This is done simply by hand on the flexible manifold near the nut connection by moving up and down. Also, make sure the lock ring covers the crown ring located in front of the connector fittings as shown. P&WC also recommends that the implementation of a witness check at final rundown torque. Appendix 1 of SILPW 100-98 shows a sample sign-off sheet. Nitrogen's testing of the fuel manifold system for leaks. After complete installation of the flexible manifold assembly, ensure that the nitrogen leak check is performed. Connect the nitrogen supply line to the dump side of the flow divider and dump valve. Apply torque as per engine maintenance manual. Apply and maintain a pressure of 150 psi nitrogen and inspect for leaks. The use of leak detection fluid can aid in the detection of leaks from the flexible manifold and fuel nozzle adapter connections. If one or more B-nuts is found to be leaking, untorque and reapply a final torque to the B-nut connections and repeat the nitrogen leak test. If the connections continue to leak, replace components as necessary. We hope this video will help train mechanics and/or inspectors for removal and installation of the flexible fuel manifold and nozzle adapters.